Hi everyone, welcome to my September monthly reflection. This past month was a roller coaster ride in the sense that I felt like I had to do a lot of self-discovery again. And these were things that I've known from before, I've actively worked on before, and unfortunately, the mind just said, well, time to go back to those negative thoughts that you had before. So a lot of this month was really proactively really utilizing every single cell in my body to fight those thoughts and fight those self-doubts that I had. So to boil it down into two parts, one is I really had to transition myself out of this mindset in which I felt like I had to prove myself. And this might be rooted from coming back this year and just feeling like I had to put myself at a higher level of expectation and that other people had higher expectations for me as well, which was not true. And instead, I had to transition from that mindset to I am still a learner. I am here to learn. I'm not perfect. And I think that was a really difficult reality that I had to face, which was because I was not in the right headspace, the things that I was learning on rotations and my ability to learn was heavily impacted. So that was like the big number one thing, transitioning from that I have to prove myself mindset to I'm here to learn. The second part of my reflection is that once you realize that you have gone down the wrong path and you have made a mistake, the best thing you can do after that is to reflect on it, come to terms with it, and move on. Of course, taking the lessons that you've learned from that to improve going forward. So that was the second thing. And that stems from being in the incorrect headspace and spiraling from that, because my mind this past month was I had these expectations that I have to meet and that I have to meet for others. I put too much on myself to prove that, and it gave me stress. I was not in the headspace for conducive learning, and thus that impacted my performance. And now I'm reflecting on that, feeling very unsatisfied because I did not meet the goals that I had set, and now it's like a cycle. Obviously realized that I went down the wrong pathway this past month in terms of my mindset, the way I was thinking, the way I was trying to learn and approach work and other aspects of my life. And my first reaction really was to beat myself down, but that just further escalated the negative feedback loop that was already occurring. So for a while, it took like every single part of me to understand that and to come to terms with it and acknowledge it, that a lot of the problems I was facing this past month was internalized, starting from here. So coming to terms with that, realizing that, utilizing every single part of my brain, thoughts, emotions, coordinating that to counteract those thoughts and ensure that going forward, if I ever had a moment where I realized that you're not approaching this learning opportunity the right way, you need to shift your mindset. Unfortunately, that took a lot of my mental energy, and I have been feeling very exhausted because of that, but I think it is necessary in order for me to move on. That's part one. And part two, overarching lessons that I learned in September. My encouragement and advice for everyone is to realize and give yourself some grace if you're stuck in a similar situation, because everyone makes mistakes. Not everyone is perfect. Not everyone can consistently produce top quality work and performance. And it is important to be able to do so. But the only way for you to do that is if you understand where your mind is, retune it and reframe it so that you can move forward with a better mindset and a more positive mindset. So that would be my big takeaway, and one that I hope you guys also take away. I hope that this coming month is another month for lots of growth and opportunity for everyone. I hope that the things I talked about in this video and reflected on is apparent next month when I make another reflection video. I'll see you all next month. Take care.